Alrighty. Hello everybody. This is Kirusho here, and now, before we do start, let us give a brief little review. In the last part, a number of things have happened. Now, we had Deku. Deku and his crew, they have stirred up quite a bit of chaos. Now, Deku said that Enel was just a man and he was no god. And that made Enel quite wrathful. He tried to strike Deku down, but Deku, he batted away the attack with just a finger. And he went to the upper yard to go meet this god people talk about. Now, he tried to strike down another one of Deku's friends, but Bakugo, he was able to immediately throw the attack out of the air. And that said quite a bit of things. People are afraid of Enel and he rules through fear. They know he is not a god, but they continue to at least acknowledge that he is theirs, quote unquote. He is ruling through fear, and anyone who says otherwise, he strikes down and kills, without mercy, without question. It's very simple. If you do not believe or say he is a god, you are not going to live for very long. And Deku, he basically came into their town, did not pay a fine, and talked about how Enel was just a man. He is somebody with a very big ego. Claiming to be a god? Yeah. He's met people like that before, and that reminds Deku of somebody he recently went up against. Since, well, they seem to be very sure they were in control of the world. And this guy, he seems like that guy. A lot like him. Now, Deku is going to land in Upper Yard, and while Deku and Enel are about to meet face to face, Enel's priest, they are going down to meet Deku's. Enel has a simple little plan. He has one way to get Deku to stand down, because he's fairly certain it will be in Deku's best interest. Now then, with that all being said, we do actually have Deku. He does just stand there, and Enel himself does a land in Upper Yard. Him going to greet Deku. And the man, he is quite surprised. Deku has abilities very similar to his own. He knows that he ate a strange fruit and gained these powers. Some of them are powers he gained from them, but others he's just had. The man can see far and wide, and Deku does stand there. As Enel does to bring his hands up and clap, him holding his staff, as is going to express. He's made quite the uproar, and he's become quite the criminal. The fine for what he's done so far is extensive, and he does have to say, renouncing him as God, that is a very big mistake. You're Enel. Huh. Gotta say, I expected more. Though, this is it. You'll hold your tongue. No, I won't. You see, there's this few problems. They could bring his hand up and try to blast Enel directly in the face, as the man does actually turn his head and step out of the way. Deku gonna watch. He already saw the man's feet move, and that was quite interesting to him. And Deku, he doesn't stare at the man, as Enel is turned back facing forwards, expressing he really should be more worried about his allies, also about the city below. He can move faster than he can, and he'll kill everybody down there himself, his allies, and everybody on that island. If he wants to, he can kill all of them within an instant, and that does mean quite a lot of things. He may not care about the people there, but he knows that the city must be of some value. They came through a mirror, correct? What does that matter? I will shatter every mirror down there. Then, I will simply kill you. You seem quite egotistical, Enel. So I do have to tell you this. I can kill you right here and now. Granted, some abilities of yours do seem a bit more advanced than mine. Though I do have to ask, the lightning, natural ability? Because I'm starting to get used to a few things. Or did you gain it for something else? Why does that matter? You see, I'm just trying to understand a few things. Because my forces are about to go down there and kill your forces. Your forces down there won't kill mine. My priests are powerful and strong. Now, you've angered me. I can wipe out the entire city and start again. I can kill all of your friends. Or we can make something quite simple. Really, if we do come to blows, even I will acknowledge that you are a very grave threat. Huh. So you are careful. Careful, yes. Stupid, I'm not. Now, let us make a bit of a deal. My four priests against your champions. They will go through ordeals and see exactly how things do go. If you can win, I will spare the city below. I, myself, will actually face your champions. If I do kill your champions, then I face you. You seem quite proud of the fact that they're powerful. Yeah, I am. Enel, you gotta know, you're no god. You will hold your tongue. I won't. Enel gonna bring his hand up. I'm trying to blast after his Deku. And Deku, he does just stand there, turning his body into light as Enel does watch his attack fly directly through Deku. And Deku's gonna look down. Him gonna bring his hands back up and gonna show Enel, as he does go to throw his hands down, that his body is made of light. And the man does just stare back at Deku. Very similar to his own. And that does say quite a lot. And Deku, he does try to read the man. He does understand the current situation. Their forces face off against each other. Enel will try to kill and destroy as many people as possible down there on the island. And that can be quite a problem. Though they're up in the sky, the battle will be limited but still have casualties. He'd make sure of that. That town could still be useful. This entire island could still be useful. A city of gold. All of that could be valuable. And that does say quite a bit. Deku's intrigued to know what these people might have up here. Similar technology, possibly more advanced. It could be useful to them. And he has this curiosity here. But there's also the fact that he doesn't want to kill. He doesn't want these people to die. He got himself in this problem. They came here, and these people were just living lives. Deku, yeah. He may not be a good guy, but even he knows people connected to him, they die a lot. So, he's going to try and break that streak. And Deku does actually turn. Him blitzing down as currently there actually is on the battlefield. But right now, Deku, he does actually fall directly in between Bakugo and somebody else. Deku going to actually land and turn, bringing his hand up as he does actually catch Bakugo's blade and bring his other hand up. Him catching the sword directly out of the air. As currently Bakugo, he went down for a swing and Deku appeared. As Bakugo, he actually went to go turn and shift his sword. Deku catching it flat, as if the person, they strike directly down into Deku's fingers. Deku catching the blade with 2 fingers as he does hold on to Bakugo's with a full palm. Now, the priest does stand there, and currently Deku, he has a turn and look at Bakugo. As the man with the blade, he does actually someone going to jump backwards, turn and pull his sword backwards. However, Deku, he does hold onto it tightly with just 2 fingers. Him informing everyone. Things are going to be quite interesting from now on. Let go of my... I'm trying to bring up his leg. Him putting it directly on Deku's arm and still trying to pull. As Deku does stand there looking at Bakugo. Continuing to explain. The situation is this. What they're going to do, Deku letting go of the blade, the man falling backwards, is simple. And when I turn, telling the priest, Enel wanted to have a bit of a game. And to be honest, he wants to test where his people are at. They've done quite a lot of training in the last 2 years. He's got to say though, the priests are going to fail. Whatever these ordeals may be, his allies will get them done. They'll win. And he does want to show Enel. Pride and ego don't go hand in hand. Though, ego is all the man's made up of. Also, he is quite intrigued. If Bakugo can kill Enel, he should know. They might gain another devil fruit on their side. Huh? What devil fruit would that be? Right now, lightning in a crackle, and the priest took a turn. As a Nell, he must have already spoken his piece. That's all they need to understand, and that it does not intrigue them. As currently the priests do go to inform the four champions that they must all head to Upper Yard, since if they do, they'll be able to go through the ordeals properly, challenge them, and make this more to Elnell's entertainment. And right now, everyone, they do just stare at Deku, some asking if he's actually serious about this, as Deku's a turn, expressing to all of them, yes, he is. He knows the progress, well, Lillian and Asui have made in the last 2 years, and he's actually curious to test Bakugo and Momo. Bakugo has already tried to fight him once, and honestly he's actually concerned and intrigued to know what Bakugo's learned. Since Bakugo, he did make mention of having a teacher, and Deku said turn back, and informing Bakugo. He wants to see what he's learned. Also, Momo, and looking towards her, expressing, don't tell him that she slacked off within the last 2 years, because that will be rather disappointing. And Momo does a stare back at Deku, her expressing about how she has not. She's actually been taking more and more action, and she'll prove it to him. And Deku just turned towards her, and is going to smile, as right now there is actually the priest, who they do go to try and inform them as to what to do. And Deku, he's going to walk back into town. Him currently going to find a table and sit down. Him going to actually turn and grab one of the drinks that are sitting down on a tray. As Deku, he has a look at it. He doesn't know what this is, but certainly intriguing. No, it's still fresh, so someone must have just gotten it and ran off in the chaos. I'm going to take a sip. Ooh, nice. Nice flavor. Him still sitting there. And currently some of the people who were running away, some of them are still here. And there actually is Kaunis. Kaunis is looking around. The priests are gone. And then there actually is going to turn and see Deku, who does just going to sit there. Him with one leg folded over the other in a chair. As she does this, I'll run over and try and scream at him, asking him exactly what the hell did he do? First of all, calm down. What? Why should I calm down? Do you have any idea what you've done? You may have just killed your allies. No, I didn't. What? How can you be so sure? Enel is a god, and no, he isn't. You actually believe this? I do, yeah. Listen, they could bring his mouth back up to the straw. Him taking a sip, and so to sit down the drink, telling her, Enel is just a man. He knows that because he's seen more powerful men die. And Enel, he wants to hide behind his godly duties, and what he does say. He will tell Kaunis this. Him motioning to the chair. Her looking at it, as she does going to walk over and sit down. What? He's ruled you through fear. In your heart, you know he's not a deity. A what? A god. I'm curious though. Your species, people, they must have had some form of religion before Nell, right? We did. We still do. Okay, good. So I'm curious. Would you be able to point me in the direction of this god? Well, he's a knight. You worship a knight. No. He became a knight. Enel, whenever he became god, No, drop it. Huh? He's still controlling the way you talk about him. Say it out loud. He isn't. Louder. He isn't. Come on. Say it. Now. Kaunis doesn't get the words out of her mouth, and Enel does to hear somebody else say it out loud, as she's going to scream out, he's not a god. And Kaunis just doesn't stand up. Her screaming out again. She just wanted to hear her say it again. Say it more and more. The words she knows to be true. And it feels liberating. She feels better. However, there is the fact that her heart is thumping in her chest, and she tries to think about what might happen. If Enel will smite her. If he'll kill her. But Deku, he doesn't sit there. Her still staying with her eyes closed, as Deku, he doesn't sit down his drink again. Her going to actually turn to look at Deku, as she does turn her head, hearing a bunch of footsteps. As right now the white berets, they are running over to her, screaming about how she's crazy, and about how she's lost her fucking mind. And currently Deku, he doesn't sit there. Her turning to Deku, and someone giving him a bit of a concerned look. Deku going to actually open one of his eyes and use Conqueror's Haki. All of the men hitting the ground immediately. And Enel does something to watch on at this. I'm a lot more impressed. That ability. His mantra. It's incredible. Though, how can that be useful to him? Can he learn that? He must be able to. Fascinating. Now, we do cut to Upper Yard, where the four priests, they are getting a few things in order. It's rather unorthodox, but right now they're going to make this all quite simple. There's 4 of them, and 4 opponents. So, this is going to be a 1v1 battle for each of them. And they are quite intrigued. One of them has the ordeal of string. One of them has the ordeal of iron. One of them has the ordeal of swamp. And the other has the ordeal of spheres. So, which ones exactly will they all choose? Because they are all quite intrigued to know what might happen. Now, this is actually quite intriguing. And there actually is where someone, they need to step up. As Bako does say it. He's taking the ordeal of iron. Since he's pretty sure that guy with a sword, it might be his, right? Perhaps it might be mine. Why? You know why. Bakugo, wait. What? You really want to try and do that? Yeah, I do. Besides, you gotta trust me on this. Trust you? Her's going to walk over, grabbing onto his shoulder and asking him, what is he talking about? Her facing away from the priest. Bakugo's going to turn his head and hide his mouth behind her face. I know it's going to sound crazy, but just trust me. Trust you? Trust you on what? He put me in charge, and he put you in charge whenever he's not around. Right now, it's both of us. So, agree with me on one thing. Are you sure you want to try and take on that guy? Pretty damn sure. He's a swordsman. Besides, knowing these guys, they rig the battlefield. He plays dirty. Though, I think you must concern yourself with your own opponent. What are you going to try and take on? I don't know. The ordeal of sphere seems like the best one for me. You sure? I can handle anything they throw at me. But it's a bit strange, right? What about the ordeal of swamp? I don't know. Now, the two are somewhat talking back and forth. Bakugo already picked one of the ordeals, and there actually is Asui. Asui doesn't stand there. Her a bit confused and trying to think about a few things. These people might be cheating. The ordeal of swamp does not make sense here. They're up in the clouds. But then again, putting her mind to it, it does make a bit of sense. Whenever they were using the waivers earlier today, they were on something similar to water, but it was just another cloud. So, from looking over at some of those guys, I mean, the guy has a sword, and one of them, they have something on their wrist. Their gloves, they must be some sort of tech from the sky. But what exactly is it? But then there's that one guy. The guy who's just staring at all of them. He hasn't said a word since. And currently there is Gadetsu. Right now the hamster is spinning on that fucking wheel. And he thinks he's talking out loud. But he's not. Anyways, now. Currently, he does monologue inside his own head. not even speaking out loud, thinking that he is. And right now, Asui does try to read the man using observation hockey. The guy has something on his shoes, he has something on his hands, and from what you can understand, the ordeal is swamp. It's gotta be rigged, maybe? No, it's gotta be something else. Okay, so her trying to look into it. And currently she does see a body of water. Her turning to somebody and expressing to all of them. She'll take on the ordeal of spheres. And right now there actually is where Mama is a turn to Oswi. You sure? Yes, I'm sure. Me or Bakugo, we're the only ones who can take on that ordeal. Huh? Now, Bakugo does a turn to her. As Rena should at least stare at him, and Bakugo, he doesn't stay quiet. Thinking for a second that maybe she's lying. Maybe she doesn't want Mama to take on that ordeal, because it could be the hardest. But if that's the case, then he wants it. Or, no. She doesn't speak up. She's quiet and she doesn't try to do much. She pilots the ship, and that's really all. The last time things got serious, she spoke out. So, now, there actually is Lillian, who does still want to stand there. Her, a bit more intimidated by a few of the things going on. Whenever Asui spoke up, she herself actually stepped forwards. Her running over and not grabbing onto Momo's leg. As Momo does look down, I want to help. Of course, Lillian. Though, do you mind hiding your real powers yet? I can. But what do you want me to do? Okay, so Asui, you have the spheres. Bakugo, you have iron. I can take on. Okay, but what do you think would be harder? I think it might be strings. You sure? Possibly. I'm trying to get a read on these guys, and from what I can tell, I don't think they have hockey. You serious? Yeah. So this is gonna be a cakewalk. I'm not so sure. What do you mean? We still don't know what to expect from them. Their their outfits, they look like they're modified somehow. You sure? Positive. His sword, it looks different from earlier. It's straightened out. Bakugo's going to turn and look up. She's right. It doesn't look wavy. Now that she mentions it, he looked. The sword was longer earlier, wasn't it? The two clashed and the guy was talking about it. He'll kill him. But. Okay, so. He's gotta watch for that. Bakugo actually going to stare at the man. And the guy's going to stare back at Bakugo. And Bakugo, he does try and focus. However, right now, Enel, he is getting a bit more annoyed. Him going to actually turn his hand and not going to send on a lightning bolt. As Deku, he does actually so going to turn and bring up his own hand. He's still talking with calmness as he to blast out his own light attack and strike Enel's lightning bolt. The sound crackling through the air as the priest turn and look up. Them understanding what that might mean. Them explaining. They don't really have a lot of time. So if they are all quite done, pick an ordeal now. God is getting impatient. And their actions Bakugo. He steps up talking about it. He'll take on iron, Asui's taking on, well, spheres. Momo is taking on strings. And, well, Lillian, she'll take on swamp. You sure about this, Bakugo? I'm sure. Bakugo gonna turn and bend down, asking Lillian if she does think that she can actually handle this. Since he does kind of know how Deku feels about her. I'll do fine. You sure, kid? Yes, I'll do okay. I'll make Papa proud. Alright. I'm gonna bring his hand up and pat her on the head, telling her, if things get dicey, remember, stay calm. She does know how to use hockey, right? Huh? Papa tried to teach me. It's weird. I'll try my best. Alright. Though, if anything does happen to you, try to take that guy down with you. What do you mean? His clothes. Pay attention to them. His hands and feet are covered in weird things. They look like shells. Really? Yeah. Pay attention to those and take them on. Make sure you disable them. If if this place is like a swamp, then the clouds might be traps. That's the best way I can think of it. Thanks. Baku's gonna turn and stand up. As right now, everyone, they're gonna walk away with their own opponents. And Baku, he does still feel a bit on edge. Everyone right now, they're a bit concerned. But there actually is Deku, who does still something to sit there. As Konus, she right now is yelling about a few things she's always wanted to say. Talking about a few things that's happened here on the island. And Deku, he does get to listen. As Konus, she is mouthing off about Enel. And Deku, he doesn't want to smile, since he didn't really expect this. And everyone, they are still somewhat watching the two interact. They're not being struck down. And Deku, he sent his people to fight God. This man is insane. They they're not too sure how to. Well, they're not. They don't. This is a weird day. Now, we do actually currently have the current scene. The battles have been set up. You have the Ordeal strings which Momo will be going through. You have Iron which Baku will be going through. You have Spheres which Asui will be going through. And you even do have Swamp, which Lillian will be going through herself. Now, with that being said, I do hope you guys enjoyed, and have an amazing day. I'll catch you guys in the next part.